there, you. Whoa, 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 and I'm off to the right. There we are. Whoa, 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 put on the brakes, put on the brakes. Yeah, there we are. How's that centered? Welcome, welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, pufties, bung-eyed heifers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks, and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom. Do another version of Rich News to Ush.
And where are we? We're right here.
Yeah, here we are, right here. And in the booth we have Philo T. Farnsworth, College of Musical Knowledge, inventor of modern television. And you're watching H News to Ush, where Newport's oldest TV news what just new. Who knew brown cow, as the locals say. We got adult themes and adult language, you're advised. Mostly adult themes. Language is pretty tame. Beware of the Bronze Age invisible sky god. That's right, because he's going to beat you and forgive you and beat you and forgive you. You're going to feel like Job at one time he's done with you. And we're all inclusive here. That's right. We cater to men, women, hamana, men who think they're women who think they're men who look like women, who dress like men, who think they're women. And everybody's welcome, of course. And funny, I'll get to the transgender stories. This is the first one right out of the box. And we're brought to you by Angachucks. Are you mad all the time? Ask your doctor about Angachucks for woodchucks and chuckettes. And we're brought to you by CIA. That's right, the Central Intelligence Agency. Let's show a brief history of CIA puppets. Here we are. Right after Harry Truman got out, Eisenhower slipped the leash and let loose the hounds of war. They overturned Mossadegh in Iran. They just let loose in Vietnam, then in Haiti, in Brazil, Dominica, Iraq, Indonesia, Cambodia, Chile. Yeah, that was one I remember. That was the original 9/11, 9/11/73. They got rid of Pinochet and put in, what's his face, man? That dictator?
No, they got rid of Salvador Allende.
Allende, yeah, that's right.
And put Pinochet in.
And put Pinochet in, yeah.
What
Thanks,
a brutal
Philo.
jerk he was, huh?
And El Salvador. Most recently, they did Honduras when Obama was president in 79. And El Salvador in 80. They shot the priest. And then Panama, and then Haiti, and it just goes on and on and on.
I'm mad about one thing though. They got rid of Gaddafi, and they didn't give me his bodyguards.
Yeah, the Ukrainian vermin. You know, it's funny.
That wasn't very nice.
Yeah, the big vermin. Libya is. Libya is kind of like split in half today. How's that green screen coming through in there, Philo?
Well, because you're black.
No, I'm green.
No, you're coming out as black in here.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. Libya, they split in half, and I believe it's the eastern half with Benghazi or whatever.
There you go. I got you.
There we are. Thanks, Philo.
Got it.
The eastern half is run by our CIA guy. He speaks fluent English, and he's like Generalissimo, General, whatever his name is. But anyways, back to the USA. And here we are. They got a new editor at the Boylington Free Press. And
the other one wasn't bad enough?
Yeah, they go through them like friggin' toilet paper. And it's not. So anyways, you know, we don't care. I don't care, you know, but I'll tell you what, this is all leading to something, okay? They don't push this kind of indoctrination without something in mind, okay? And here it is, how Vermont parents of trans children navigate surgery. And it's like, navigate surgery? Look at, the kid doesn't, you know, the kids can't make up their mind. I mean, you know, no surgery for children, especially elective surgery. You know, there are kids who need surgery to save their damn lives. And you people, and of course, one of the queer, one of the parents of a thing they interview in here, of a what do you call it, an example they give, is the parents are queer. And I'm wondering, you know, if the parents are pushing this on the kid, or if the kid came up with it themselves. But anyways, oh yeah. Ezra woke up groggy and nauseous from surgery. He wasn't the, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Minuteman, and my pronouns, preferred pronouns, are je and jem. Okay, you got that? He wasn't his usual chatty self, but made sure to flash a big grin and 2 thumbs up. His energy he maintained throughout his recovery. His father felt a wave of relief for him, realizing the 15 years old, was okay after an operation this summer. And then something else hit. Something much more pronounced has happened for him. He's transgender, meaning he had a gender identity that differs from his assigned sex at birth. He came out in an email to his mother a few years ago. Since then, the parents have worked to help Ezra explore and express his identity. He was 12 when all the language crystallized for him. He was 3 when he said to us, "I don't wear dresses," and 5 when he said, "I need my hair cut short." And so it goes on and on. The new rules, oh, here we are, back to the DSM. Now, mind you, these aren't backed up by any real science. I mean, brain surgery and, you know, and MRIs and head scans or hormone levels. None of this is backed up by hard medical evidence. It's all subjective, according to the psychologists and psychiatrists. Surgery can be part of a treatment for individuals with gender dysphoria. And what's the difference between dysphoria and dysthymia, Philo? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I've lost track of all. Still have a DSM-4, and they're up to the 5 now anyway.
Yeah. Dysthymia. I think dysphoria. I don't know. It's some dis. Condition where there is a marked difference between their expressed gender and the genders others would assign to him or her. And it must continue for at least 6 months, according to the DSM. The new rule nixes the minimum age requirement for the people who seek Medicaid to pay for surgery.
Oh, for God's sakes, I don't like my tax dollars paying for this. You can reassign yourself to be a goat for all I care. But the minute you start taking my tax dollars, I'm getting pissed.
Yeah, and we got a whole slew of candidates campaigning right now in Ohio who want to give all this stuff to people who aren't even citizens. They can just waltz right in and say, hey, charge that to Uncle Sap, you know, let you guys pay for it, you, and you, and you, and you over there on the couch, and you out there in the kitchen, you guys are going to pay for it. Thank you very much. Or should I say, muchas gracias.
What I got mad about a long time ago was that the funding for the arts.
Yeah.
And I said, fine, if Mr. Mapplethorpe wants to be a sick little individual with his paintings, I don't care. But when my tax money has to go pay for it, I'm getting pissed.
Oh, man. And speaking of which, I hope I'll get to that in a second. We got some more grant sucking coming up right now.
Okay.
50, 60 grand apiece. You know, not to start a company to install broadband, Philo, but to develop a theoretical business plan to develop broadband. You know, it's insane. We'll get to that. So anyways, study examining data from 2009 to 15 from the NIH followed 7,900 transgender patients, found a marked year-by-year increase in utilization of surgical services. Oh, yeah. And the University of Vermont has a transgender youth program. Now, mind you, okay, if you believe the statistics, they're saying that, every 1 in 10 people are gay. I don't think that's correct. I think it may be 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 500 are gay. Who knows? We don't know for sure. And transgenders are about 1 in every 100,000. And why are they pushing this stuff? Why? What is the object in mind? The object I think they're driving at is sexualizing kids so that one day they'll say, well, hey, if the kid can make decisions about surgery, about sex, and you know, you can talk to kids about sex and when they're little tiny kids, What's not to let them participate in sex? I think that's where this is headed. With the alphabet community, is what's-his-face calls him. The amazing Lucas. Check out the amazing Lucas on YouTube. This black guy, he is hysterical, Terry. Oh, I'm telling you. The guy is funny. And here we are. A day after his surgery, his friend asked if they could go to the beach together, something that made him comfortable before his surgery. This was no longer the case. He said Ezra is now comfortable hopping on his bike and going for a swim. Yeah, provided the beaches are open, thanks to the Kauschwitz dairy splooge animal cruelty people up the street. Oh, and here we are. Here, look at this picture, Philo. The transgender flag flies outside of Bernie Sanders' office. Doesn't that just warm the cockles of your heart?
Well, guess what? He's got a surprise coming.
He's never there. He's never there anyways. He's got a surprise. Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy was against gun control, being in Vermont. You mentioned gun control, you'd never get elected. He was always for workers' rights. And he would say that if we let people into this country en masse, that they're going to drive down wages and they'll kill off unions. And you know, they'll just water down the labor pool. Now he's all for open borders. I could go on. As parents, we were nervous, even as queer parents. Oh, here we go with another one.
They were nervous.
Yeah. Amber's daughter Ryan was around 2 when she began to show signs of identifying as female. Today, at age 6, she identifies as transgender and experiences some dysphoria. 6 years old, Philo. How would a kid know to be sad about having dysphoria if the parents didn't talk to these kids about this stuff all the time, right?
Yep.
Oh,
I will
God.
admit one thing, though. As early as 6, you can identify whether you like girls or you like boys.
Yeah, I get that part, sure.
I know that from experience, because I knew I liked girls.
But I mean, as a kid, you're just not obsessed with it.
Nope. Oh, heavens no.
No, you just have too much fun being a kid, usually.
Usually you're out playing baseball or something else.
Yeah, you're out with your buddies and your friends. Leventry, who uses they, them pronouns, they and them, not me and my or whatever. They and them. I told you, you better say ma'am. And my pronouns are je and jim. Believes a change to Medicaid rules would save lives, offering kiddies the opportunity to be mentally well at home in their bodies. That's why they and their partner, not her and her partner or him and his partner, but they and their partner. Okay.
Well, maybe they're bigamous.
Yeah, that's mighty bigamy. God almighty. They and their partner worry about getting everything right for him. We want to make sure that she has the language to tell us who she was, because she was so young. Exactly. Leave them alone, you freak. What's wrong with you? They wanted to avoid putting words in her mouth, hoping to follow her lead. They bought books about kids who don't fit traditional gender roles or their assigned sex, like Introducing Teddy and I Am Jazz, so Ryan could read stories about people with whom she identified. When she was about to start preschool, the pediatrician recommended the family decide how Ryan wanted to be identified. The family spent the summer using she and her pronouns and getting people outside their home on the same page. As parents, we were nervous, even as queer parents. Yeah, I'm thinking queer in the old sense of that word, like queer.
Yep, out there where the bus don't run.
Yeah. Where the streetlights been out for a couple of years.
And not even LSD lights.
Yeah, oh man. Informed consent involves more than just signing a piece of paper. Oh, jeez Louise. Here we are. Telling someone who is transgender that they have to remain in the body they were born with is terrifying, they said. What if they never get older? What if they take their own lives? Because you can't have physical health without mental health. Exactly. And you're pushing and pressing this kid and just freaking him out Leave them alone. Just leave the damn kids alone. What if they never get older? What if they kill themselves? Oh, yeah. When Ryan struggles with dysphoria, which prompts anxiety, there's not much they can do beyond validating their feelings and ensuring she knows she does not need to be tied to her body forever. Oh, yeah, well, they call cutting the cord, I believe cutting the cord is like death. Tied to your body forever. There you go. Unbelievable.
Suicidal tendencies.
Yeah. Laventry feels like they're the last person that should give the go-ahead on her decision to access surgery, because ultimately it's her body. It's her mental health. Ah, God. Gender dysphoria was alleviated, mental health improved, and well-being among them studied was similar or better to their peers in the general population, according to a study from Holland from 2004 to 2011. Yeah, let's see. They said coordinating gender confirmation surgery requires a team of people and is not cheap, especially someone who Laventry was a parent of 3 children. It's not like people are just given these things. Medicaid is not a factor in their plans. It's also not in the picture for their Ezra's operation. Medicaid is the health care program jointly funded by federal and state governments. Yada, 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 yada. Oh, yeah, let's see. They're focusing on top surgeries, which is breast removal. But there has been a general increase in people seeking out genital surgeries who are insured under Medicaid or Medicare, which increased 3 times between 2012 and 2013. We're talking a year. It increased 3 times in a year, Philo. You don't think this is some kind of trend that's being pushed?
No doubt.
Oh, God. The surgeries fall under the definition of medical necessity, even though they may be scheduled in advance like elective surgeries. Oh, they're medically necessary.
Sure they are.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not a gamble we're going to take with our child. We needed his identity. We needed to get him the health care he needed to affirm his identity. We needed his sense of self to be intact. Yeah, and they say only 8%. Only 8% want their PP back or their whatever it is. And here we are, the religious leaders. They asked an imam, the Vermont imam, the imam of the mosque in Vermont. In our religion, we have rules for this. He believes intersex should decide which gender they identify at a certain age. He doesn't believe the same rule should apply to transgender people. If a family does approach the imam, they said they'd give them counseling sections and with the parents and their child in order to address why they aren't satisfied in their own body. Is there a reason for that? Is it because of a failure in your life? He wondered about people who don't identify with their assigned sex. Islam is a religion of science.
No, really?
Meaning science will speak.
Is this a comedy show?
Yeah, science will speak, religion will follow. In the case of individuals not comfortable in their own bodies, they would hypothetically be referred to a psychiatrist. He doesn't consider individuals who do not identify with their biosex to have a medical condition. Yeah, there you go. So much for your tolerance with Islam, right? Well, yeah, but I'm about ready to tolerate this right out the window myself. I don't think it's enough. We believe that God gave us this body. There is no medical thing that would lead you to transform your gender. And here we are, the Catholics. Simply because one can do something doesn't mean they ought to do something, said the priest or whatever.
I might actually agree with that.
No, this is Hassan, I'm sorry. Children are too young to make decisions about, oh no, this is the priest, Harlow. Children are too young to make decisions about serious surgical changes, said Priest Harlow, who believes transitioning and identifying with a gender that's different is a form of spiritual suicide. Okay. Yeah, so we know where the church is at. It's a selfish act. This reassignment is a selfish act. Yeah, let's see. He calls it a psychological problem. Yeah. Well, dysphoria, dysthymery, it means you have a problem in your head. That's the definition right there. By definition, you got a problem with your head. He was concerned about the experience who realized they've made the mistake and want to go back to their original gender. Good luck with that. They had a documentary on RT, you can see it on the interweb on YouTube, about these trannies, and some of them had the surgery, and they know other trannies, and they drop trow every now and again and say, "Oh my God, is that what they left you with? I mean, they sent you out of the hospital with that? I mean, you're lucky if you can whiz, with the thing by the time they're done with you." Over 10% of respondents say professionals attempted to prevent them from being transgender. Statistics said that 8% responding detransitioned or chose to return to living as their birth-assigned gender. Most of these detransitions were temporary, oh sure. Reasons include difficulty accessing employment, harassment, and pressure from loved ones. Regret is incredibly rare. Oh, sure it is. Okay, and then the following day, Philo, in the Daily Propaganda, studies support gender surgery. Again, it's like, where is this leading? What is this leading up to? Studies support transgender surgery. Oh, yeah.
You wonder, the thing about surgery, Steve, is you want to read what they don't tell you, not what they do tell you. And after the show, I'll give you a really good example of it. But all these studies, you need scientific fact.
Yeah.
The study that says, drinking alcohol is good for your heart. Well, what they don't tell you is a grape juice does the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Or one drink a day is good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
It also can it also kill you.
Yeah, only if you might it might give you cancer.
Yep.
Such changes are in line with current thinking. I like these qualifiers here are insane. At least in some as societal acceptance of it's grown, medical thinking has changed too. Oh, just what I want, medical thinking to go along with society thinking. Oh, I don't think so. I think it should be the other way around, fool. At least in the academic circles and the medical circles, we realize that yes, it's valid, and that yes, kids do better after treatment, and yes, surgery is appropriate. And why wait till 21? Hey, it's really completely arbitrary. In fact, it's probably cruel. Unbelievable. Several preliminary studies have shown benefits in adolescents, particularly removing their breasts in transgender adolescent males. But there's a scarcity of literature to guide clinical practice for vaginoplasty in transgender adolescent females. The optimal age and development for initiating hormones and performing affirming surgery remains to be clarified. So remember that if anything happens, say that, we had an EMP pulse, I don't know, a comet hit the earth, we're out of electricity, the crap hits the fan, and we're on our own for, say, at least 6 months or something, right, Philo?
Yeah.
You don't get those hormones, what happens to you? No hormones, man.
You turn into the Bee Gees.
Excuse me. You turn into the Bee Gees, that's it. Oh, man. God forbid.
Anyways, we digress once again, ladies and gentlemen.
You'd be from down under. You'd be down under. And here we are. The further you read into these things, the weirder it gets, right?
Yep.
Now, mind you, okay, here we are. They're talking about the doctors. Okay. Physicians involved in the study noted the number of minors has increased, yet the psych maturity is the main criteria for approval. As one interviewed surgeon put it, age is arbitrary. The true measures of how well a patient will do are based on maturity, discipline, and support. Now get this, 11 of the 20 surgeons' interviews had performed such surgeries. That's only half, people. Like 10 of 20 is half. 11 of 20 is a little over half. So the majority of the people, the surgeons studied here, had never done this kind of surgery, and yet they're being quoted in the paper. Oh, okay.
Well, that's the Burlington Free Press for you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's reflecting the study, Philo. The study is peer-reviewed, Let's see. Minors ranged in age from 15 to a day before 18. 2/3 of the surgeons said such decisions should be made on a case-by-case basis rather than strict adherence to the WPATH guidelines, which advises to wait until 18. Let's see. Surgery is something that should be happening. They're going to need to make certain the patient is appropriate and diagnosed with it and well aware of all the life-changing nature of the surgeries. It's life-changing indeed, and there's no going back, like death. It's the undiscovered country. And anytime you go under the knife, man, look at the elective surgeries. Look at the plastic surgery. I saw this thing on, with what's her name? Rosanna Arquette, right? Girl, the actress. She was a good-looking woman, Philo, right? And she probably would be a good-looking woman now if she had just left the surgeries alone and, you know, and gone with a few wrinkles or whatever. But oh no, you look at a picture of her now. You know who she looks like, Philo? Like all of them. She looks like Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
I mean, the duck lips, it's a pullback, you know, you can't blink. And it's a combination of surgery and botulinum toxin or Botox.
That's what happened. That's what happened to Liberace, you know. He got to the point where he couldn't close his eyes to sleep. Did you know that? I saw that in the documentary about him.
No kidding.
Yeah, his skin was pulled so tight he couldn't close his eyes to sleep.
Oh man.
Isn't that nuts?
That's insane.
No. Yes, he was.
Oh yeah. And here we are. A study showed that 22 adolescents scored within normal range, blah, 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 blah. The participants were all generally satisfied with their physical appearance and none regretted treatment. Oh, sure, it's just that easy, Philo. Yep. Oh, here we are. Thousands could lose food stamp benefits. Well, okay. You know, and listen to these programs that could get cut. Other assistance programs that could be negatively affected include 1. Student loan forgiveness for teachers in low-income schools. 2, so that means you're getting deadbeat teachers right out of the, or who knows what, green teachers right out of college who could or could not be any good. You don't know, so they're going to foist them on your school and pay off their student loans while they're practicing on your kids. Sounds like a great idea. 2, summer after-school meal sites for kids. Summer and after-school meal sites. Now, wait a minute. When they came up with the school lunch program, the whole thing was to have a school lunch program. You want to have kids. I thought the whole idea of having kids was that you took care of them and fed them, Philo.
Well, that's what I always assumed, but I guess I was wrong.
Oh, man. The Fresh Fruit and Veggie Grant Program for low-income elementary schools. Again, these grant-sucking chair warmers. We know the people. We know the people. That girl who was endorsed by Bernie, who ran against Higley in the last, the race before last. Remember her?
Oh yeah, Kathleen.
Yeah, I think so. Catherine. I won't mention her last name. But anyways, yeah, she's a grant-sucking chair warmer. That's what she does. She administers these grants. They skim off the top for themselves. Go plant a few. Friggin' gardens like the one in North Troy. We had a volunteer community garden. We did it all with volunteer. No money changed hands. I mean, I paid $100 to have my buddy's kid plow it over with a 5-gang plow from his damn farm. And Jack Laser donated the manure from his organic farm. You know what I mean? Mike's Electric donated the barbed wire and fence posts. And we had a great big damn community garden. But you know what happened to it, Philo? It got vandalized. You know, we didn't have the money for cameras or whatever, and they went in there. Did they take the food and eat it? Oh, no, they just trashed everything and tore stuff up and threw it around. Anyways, the Fresh Fruit and Veggie Grant Program for low-income elementary schools. E-rate programs for schools and library technology. Now, what does the Department of Agriculture have to do with libraries and library technology? God almighty. It's unbelievable. See if I can get that grant-sucking thing. Yeah, we wound up... oh, and guess what? Michael Moore made a new movie. And... He tried to come out and, you know, be like environmentally sensitive and stuff, and but it didn't find out what they wanted to. Oh, Groucho and Senator Batshit. Okay. Oh, a bunch of crazy Negroes attacked a gas tanker in Tanzania. 62 of them were blown to pieces and 70 more were burned to like toast, man.
What the hell were they doing?
Well, made the truck, somebody jumped out in front of the truck, it caused an accident, and then, you know, after the accident, they beat the driver or whatever, and then they go and they try and scoop up all the gasoline.
And the whole thing went up in flames, did it?
Yeah, it went up in flames, killed 60 of them.
Well, that'll learn him for trying to vandalize a thing, huh?
Yeah, you think? It's not. Of course I can't find it. Oh, dumping tree expansion. Now, that's another thing. They, good for the District 7 Environmental Commission. They came in and said, okay, you guys want to expand the landfill? Fine. But we're going to throw some conditions on it. And one of the conditions of expanding your landfill is you're going to take the landfill, we're going to make you take the landfill juice that you've been paying off the mayor and the crappy council with to dump through your sewage treatment plant. We're going to make you take that off-site and treat it somewhere else where it's really treated, not diluted and thrown into the lake where the people from Canada drink. But, yeah, here it is. New Michael Moore back documentary tackles environmental alternative energy. And, of course, here's the thing. You know, they went into and they found that you were still dependent on this stuff and there's no way we could transition the way we are. And here's another thing. We have to get down to zero population growth. If we can't keep growing as a species. We learned this in the 70s, but the capitalists got control of the message and they squelched it and said, you know, we won't have as many customers for our products, so we're going to, you know, screw the zero population growth. Here we are. LA, what if alternative energy isn't all it's cracked up to be? That's the question explored in the documentary Planet of the Humans, backed and promoted by Michael Moore. It premiered last week at the Traverse City Film Festival. The film, which doesn't have distribution, is low budget but piercing example about what they say are false promises of the environmental movement and why we're still addicted to fossil fuels. Director Jeff Gibbs takes on electric cars, solar panels, windmill, biomass, biofuel, leading environmental groups like the Sierra Club, which sold out, and even figures from Al Gore and like Al Gore and Van Jones, who served the Green Jobs Advisor, and Bill McKibben. And none of these people would comment, Philo, when the reporters called them up to comment. They're usually yapping and flapping their gums. Oh, they're happy to expound on everything green, supposedly. And even Bill McKibben, that bug-eyed frog-faced guy from Middlebury, he shut his yap real quick, wouldn't talk to the press. Gibbs, who produced Bowling for Columbine and Fahrenheit 9/11, didn't set out to take on the Enviro movement. He wanted to know why things weren't getting better. But when he started pulling on that thread, he and Moore said they were shocked to find how inextricably entangled alternative energy is with coal and natural gas. Since they say everything from wind turbines to electric car charging stations are tethered to the grid. Again, with the crappy grid. We get this happy news from Vermont Electric Co-op every 6 months or whatever, 3 months or quarterly. And damn it, oh, they're telling us how great they are and they're doing this and doing that. Yet, barely 2 weeks ago when we had a hot spell, they're asking everybody to conserve energy because their crappy old 1930s era Soviet-style power grid couldn't even take on a load of a few extra air conditioners. Never mind help heat with electricity in the winter like they do in Quebec. Did you know that something like 75% of Quebec heats with electricity, Philo?
Yep. That's what they say.
Their grid is modern and up to date. Why can't ours? Oh, well, because we're spending so much money on war.
That's
It turned out to be a, let's see. It turned out to be the wake-up call about our own side. It was kind of crushing to discover the things I believed in weren't real, first of all, and then to discover not only are solar panels and wind turbines not going to save us, but there's this whole dark side of the corporate money. It dawned on me that these technologies are just another profit center. We all want to feel good about something like the electric car, but in the back of your head you thought, yeah, but where's that juice coming from? I don't want to think about that. I'm just glad we have electric cars. I pass by windmill farms and they're beautiful, but don't tell me that we've gone too far now and it isn't going to save us. My feeling is just hit me with everything. Let's just deal with it now all at once. Part of the reason he tried to make it independently. They tried for years to get an enviro group on board to help with the cost, but they'd be turned down at every door. He was further disheartened when in the film he approaches people like Van Jones, Bill McKibben, and a Sierra Club leader to ask him about their stance on biofuel and biomass. And let's see, he found that everyone was ill-prepared to comment on their stance about biomass because it involves burning stuff, and when you burn stuff, you get CO2. We gotta stop burning stuff, but we're too stupid, we're too stupid, we're too stupid. Let's see. I like so many people in the film, and I'm one of those people who wanted to believe all these years that there was the right path, Michael Moore said, but I refuse to let us die out. I refuse to let the planet die. Although the findings will be disheartening, Gibbs and Moore said they hope it inspires people to reset and start thinking differently, and it got a standing ovation at the first film festival, Philo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here we are. Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, the gun reform, the gimme grunts. Never mind that it's 80% of the people for the past 60 years have said they want fewer immigrants, not more. Oh, Groucho Weinbeuger and Senator Batshit, they're puking pure pablum. That's right. Batshit, man, he's older than dirt. And, the old developer Weinbeuger there, man. I'm telling you, he looks just like Groucho. Oh, let's see. The ICE raided 7 food processing plants in Mississippi and arrested 700 people. Which puzzled Leahy. Well, a lot of things puzzle Leahy, okay? A wood stove puzzled Leahy. Leahy even admitted that he can't operate a wood stove. His wife won't let him. You know why? Because he leaves the door open, the thing goes turbo, and the pipes turning cherry red, and he almost burns the damn house down because he's old, and he's just toast. Let's see. That makes me wonder, is law enforcement being used as symbolism or substance? Well, we got to start somewhere, okay? If we want our kids and our citizens to have jobs and housing and stuff like that, then we got to start getting rid of these 20 million people who snuck in through our back door and are camped out in our living room, eating their way through our refrigerator. Oh, the senator said Trump and Stephen Miller are against immigrants, especially immigrants who are not white. No, that's a lie. Oh, I don't care if they were Polish, Italian, Latvian, Lithuanian, any people that rush your border and just sneak in deserve to screw. Out. No, did not white. No, that's their fallback to everything. Racism! You're a racist! Or you're a Russian. People should have a way of entering the country legally. They do. It's called a visa. You idiot. Oh, God. That's not America. Oh, yeah. That's not America. He acknowledged the pressing problems at the border, such as child trafficking. Yeah, because they said, oh, we don't want to split up these kids from their families. Well, how do we know they're even their families? I can buy you a kid in Tijuana. You give me $500, $1,000. I can go down there and get you a kid. No problem, man. No problem. By tomorrow night. Well, I said former Williston did not go unnoticed. Yeah. A protest. Now they're shooting at the ICE centers. Did you see that, Philo?
Nope, didn't see it.
They shot up 2 of them, man. Bullets through the windows and everything. And here we are with the abortion. Tennessee mulls passage of a strict ban on abortion. Well, you know what? Here's a clue, okay? For all those women who say, well, I didn't know I was pregnant. I just didn't know I was pregnant. Well, here's it. Just if you screw, just assume you're pregnant, okay? And get the morning after pill or whatever, because assume you're pregnant. It's the only way to avoid abortions. We were told in the future that abortions would be safe, legal, and rare, but not now. You got people 300-pounders who don't even know if they. Oh, come on. I didn't know, man. I didn't know I was pregnant. Oh, and get this, Philo. The camp director's going to retire after 40 years. And you know the name of the camp? Camp Downer. That's my camp, man. Take the Reds, man.
I go along with that, yeah.
Yeah, I love Camp Downer. It was great. We had 2-and-alls for breakfast, Quaaludes for lunch. It was awesome. Oh, yeah. Biden corrects remarks. Oh, man, he's correcting his remark. What did he say the other day? We choose truths over facts. That was a classic. We choose truth over facts. Okay, then.
Well, I would, simply because so many people make up their own facts.
I guess so, yeah. What is a fact anymore, right? And here we are. Support rule seen as a green card limit. Well, you know what? It's not a rule change. They're saying, oh, this Trump thing is horrible and it's cruel because, you know, they're not going to give citizenship to people who are on welfare. Well, you know what? If you came here to work, you shouldn't be getting welfare, food stamps, or Section 8, you clowns. You know, come on. And it is not a rule change. The rule has been in effect when my aunt came over from the damn Soviet Union in the late 1980s before it collapsed in 89, was it, Philo? Yeah, 89.
89, 90, right around there.
Yeah, when my aunt came over, we had to sign documents saying that if she became indigent and got benefits or anything, that we would either have to pay them back for the benefits or we would have to take care of her. And that's the way it's been. Your sponsor signs that document. But otherwise, you can't come into the country because, let's face it, we can't take care of our own people who are homeless and you know, and on the bum or junkies or whatever, God knows what. People fall on hard times, they get injured, they're citizens. You know, that's why we have Medicaid and welfare and stuff like that. But oh no, this is just another Trump thing against brown people. Oh, please.
Oh, I just looked it up, Steve. The Soviet Union officially fell December 26, 1991.
91.
Yeah,
okay.
They got out of Afghanistan in 89.
Oh, okay. Yeah, silly me. Trump's administration issued a new rule Monday. That's a lie. That would enable officials to deny green cards to migrants if they believe the recipients will receive public benefits like food stamps, Medicaid, and housing vouchers. The rule's been in the works for months, and its latest effort to reduce legal immigration, despite Trump's focus on illegal immigration. Here we are. The rule, which takes effect on October 15th, allows customs and immigrant officials to consider public assistance in deciding whether to grant legal assistance, along with other facts like health, education, and household income. In addition to considering whether an applicant currently receives benefits, they'll also determine whether there's likelihood will they do so in the future. They had no estimates of how many could be effective. You become a public charge when you become indigent. Let's see, targeting poor people and legal immigrants who are seeking to gain a foothold in the U.S. economy. The National Immigration Law Center described it as race-motivated and a wealth test on immigrant families seeking a healthy, stable future in the USA. If this goes into effect, it will have a devastating impact on millions. We will fight back. Stay tuned. Ken Cuccinelli, the USCIS, said the purpose of the rule is to promote self-sufficiency amongst the migrant population. They say, oh, what about the Statue of Liberty? Well, you know, when they erected the Statue of Liberty, there was no public welfare. They had poorhouses and stuff like that, but they weren't food stamps, Section 8, stuff like cash assistance. You know, there was none of that there. That was fairly recent. That came about in like 64 when President Johnson came in. When asked about the effect on the poor, Cuccinelli said, we certainly expect people of any income to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. Earlier this year, the Trump administration instructed agencies to enforce a 23-year-old law that requires sponsors to reimburse the government for welfare benefits. Again, that's what we had to do. That's what every sponsor has to do. Fool. They noted the rule is required by an immigration law signed by Clinton in '96. It goes way back before that. The U.S. grants green cards to roughly 1 million foreigners each year. So get this, we're taking in 1 million people every year. That's 30 million in 30 years, 60 million in 60 years. We can't handle this many people. We're degrading the environment as it is now. The current definition of a public charge includes someone who is primarily dependent on government assistance. That means receiving cash assistance. that makes up more than half of their income and receiving long-term medical care at government expense. Now, this isn't for somebody that comes here from, say, England or Poland or Italy and is crossing the street and gets hit by a drunk driver. They're going to go into the hospital. What happens is the hospital take care of them, and it will bill their country basically, or their insurance. And if they don't have any insurance at home, say the country like Italy provides free medical, then the Italian government will pay for it. It's not gonna hurt those people at all that are here on visas or tourist visas, or other countries that come here on vacation that don't even need a visa. So it's not that. The new definition, which has not yet gone into effect, would dramatically expand the definition to include any immigrant who receives even small amounts of government aid that includes non-cash benefits such as food stamps, Medicaid, Section 8, and rental assistance. Sure, come on in. Uncle Sap will take care of you. Oh, man. I swear to God, those companies that sell cards, by the 1,000 business cards, Philo?
Yeah.
I'm going to have some printed up. You know what they're going to say?
What's that?
This is your white privilege card. Use this card to get anything you want for free. Hey, you're white, use it at the grocery store. You're white, go into a lawyer's office. Just show them your white privilege card. You won't have to pay a cent for your defense, right, Philo?
Whatever.
Yeah, it's all benefits for Whitey. We've had them all our lives. It's opened doors for us. We've never had to do anything, ever. We didn't rise by our own merits or have to go back to school or take night classes and better ourselves. It just all came rolling down the pike because we were white. That's it. It's just a white privilege card. I swear to God, I'm gonna do it. Don't make me do it. I'm gonna. And here we are. Oh man. Israeli woman convicted of $145 million to defraud investors. Lee Albaz, CEO of Ucom Company, an Israel-based company that operated in the binary options industry under the brand names Binary Book and Big Option. She trained employees to lie to investors and rig the odds against them making and recouping any money. Okay then. Yeah. Great. You can come here and start a business, right, Philo? No problem. Oh, and here we are. I'm looking at this. At first I'm thinking, well, these kids are they're the remnants of the black bloc. Remember the battle for Seattle 20 years ago, Philo?
I guess so.
Yeah, 1999 when they came out with the World Trade Organization or something. They had a meeting in Seattle and they had the battle for Seattle. And they had these, the black bloc came out. They always do. They're like anarchists. They have flags that say A on them in big red letters, a big red A spray painted on them. They're anarchists, and their job is to take stuff and, and smash windows. That's their job. Well, I'm looking at this and I think, well, it's just the Antifa. They're just the black bloc people, right? And then I look at the picture, Philo. They're wearing baseball helmets, like the ones you do when you get up to bat. I don't know what they're called. They have the big
batting helmet.
Batting helmets, yeah, excuse me. And they have the big ear protector and stuff. And I look on the batting helmets, and there's the hammer and sickle, dude.
All right.
It's like, all right, it's the fascist, supposed fascist, versus the commies, just like in Russia and just like in Hitler's Germany. Portland braces for far-right rally. Because you can be far left, that's okay, or they never call it far left. But damn it, mister, if you are even to the right of, oh, I don't know, who's a real lefty? Noam Chomsky, then damn it, you're far right. Boyney's on a Joe Rogan show, and he said, my wife would demand that I tell you about space aliens, Philo. Boyney says if he becomes president, he's going to dump all the files on the space aliens. I'm telling you, when I become president, I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to open all the files and you guys can have it all for free. Everything's free, I'm telling you. Yeah, there it is right there. Didn't Jimmy Carter say he was going to do the same thing, and Bill Clinton too?
These guys, and I'll tell you this as a fact, when even Trump, whether it was Trump or whether it was Obama, when they say they're going to do something and somebody else comes out and says, well, they know they're really not going to do that, that just makes them all habitual liars.
Yeah.
That's all.
Or they intend to do it, and the CIA or the Pentagon says,
That's right.
we don't have any
When you're
files.
the commander-in-chief and you can't give an order that's followed, what does that tell you?
Yeah.
But if you want to go to war, boy, they're all for that.
Yeah.
They're all for war.
That's why I kept this article about the Quincy Institute, the new think tank that's going to take on the blob. Bernie Sanders on Joe Rogan hits a top spot on YouTube. Marijuana. Right now you have a federal law. It's called the Controlled Substance Act. Here's heroin. Here's marijuana. They're at the same level. That is insane. Heroin's a killer drug. Oh, Jesus, Bernie. You talking longer sentences or you speak like a choppy Vermonter? You can argue the pluses and minuses of marijuana, but marijuana ain't heroin. The podcast wrapped up with a back and forth between Rogan and Sanders. He asked if he'd reveal any information if he secured the election and become privy to knowledge about aliens. My wife would demand that I let you know, Sanders said. He had said he'd let people know if he found out anything about extraterrestrial life. We'll announce it on the show. How's that? Go Bernie. Here we are. Oh, God. A motorcycle backfires in Times Square, Philo.
And the shooting starts.
Yeah, damn near. Damn near. They all started running and screaming. People got injured. It's like, oh, my God, run for your lives. It's a Harley.
That is a dangerous vehicle.
Yeah. I swear to God, if I ever snap, that's why I'm going to be out there with my AK-47 taking out Harleys with straight pipes. Backfiring stirs panic in New York City. It sent people pounding on theater doors to find a place to hide after the backfire. There's no active shooter, said the cops. Please don't panic. Times Square is very safe. It's people screaming as they fled. You hear a noise, you run. That's the state of this nation. We're petrified, said Governor Andrew Cuomo. Oh, yeah. Did you see what his brother did on CNN? Somebody called him Fredo, Philo. He's out at some bar or something. And the guy says, hey, Fredo. And Cuomo just snaps like a dry twig, even though he's called other people Fredo. Now, when you call someone Fredo, what does that mean?
It's a derogatory term.
About?
Your ethnicity.
No. It's about being the dumb brother.
Well, yeah, it's because
we
can get into semantics, but it's a slur.
Well, if he'd called him a Guido.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, if he'd called him
Italians have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, but I mean, Fredo, that's the thing. I'm smart, Michael. I'm smart, too. I mean, it's the dumb brother thing. But anyways, back to the backfiring. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of slurs for Italians, and I'm all like, when Italians are Caucasians, and Italians encompass all different spectrums. Like I said, when I was a kid, we had the De Primas and the Aces. They're both from families from northern Italy. They never ate anything with tomato sauce on it, and they all had blonde hair and blue-eyed. They were Protestants. They were from Lombardy up in northern Italy. You just don't think just because all Italians are the same. What are you, out of your mind? Good grief, they're Caucasians. And video footage show throngs running from the tourism and some taking cover behind vehicles. They went into the Schubert Theater. They had to stop it. Screaming civilians tried to storm our theater for safety. The audience started screaming and the cast fled the stage. 9 people were injured. 6 went to hospitals. So much for New York Strong, I guess. Wacko vet chokes punk. Okay. Nothing to see there. Oh, Blago. Oh, my God. Not Blago. Trump wants to pardon Blago. Oh, please. There's a Chupo gangbanger. Stabbed 6 people, Philo, in L.A. And then they had a guy screaming, Allahu Akbar, stabbed a bunch of people in Sydney, killed a 21-year-old woman. And he said, oh, he's 21 years old. He had a history of mental health problems. Really? I mean, he's only 21, screaming Allahu Akbar. I wonder that wouldn't have any motive involved, right?
I wonder what could be wrong there.
I just don't get it. I mean, it's like the Amish. I swear to God, all these antique religions, if you want to be an Amish, be an Amish. And, live on the farm, stay away from people. Yeah, I mean, make fun of the English when you're speaking German with your Amish friends and, have a beard with no mustache and wear the funny hat. Just don't bother anybody. You don't see the Amish out there with AK-47s or they're whacking people with their sais or cutting their ankles off. Oh, God. 33-year-old man from Garden Grove was full of anger. He carried out violent attacks and robberies at businesses and killed 2 men at his own apartment complex during a 2-hour wave of violence Wednesday. He was arrested as he walked out of a convenience store in Santa Ana, dropped a knife and a gun belonging to a security guard that he had just killed. It appears to be random. The only known motive should be robbery, hate, and homicide. We know this guy was full of anger. 4 of the victims were described as Hispanic, while 2 were described as white. Initially, all had been described as Hispanic. The 2 of those wounded were listed and stable, expected to survive. All of it was caught on security cameras. And where does it say he was a gangbanger? Zachary Castaneda, a documented gang member.
Okay, last but not least.
Oh, God, already? Oh, man. Oh, here it is. Okay, here. Last but not least. Suey! Grant suckers, $60,000 each, man. Line up, sign up now. You want some free money? The state's taking it out of our pockets and throwing it in the trough for all these grant-sucking chairwarmers. And here it is right here. The state hopes the grants encourage more rural broadband. $700,000, $60,000 each per grant. Expanding reliable broadcast is in our work to increase economic opportunities and enhance public safety. To go to groups including nonprofits, for-profit business, co-ops, communication unity. Strategies may include partnerships, the creation of co-ops, communications union, plants, or utilities. PSB said that they hope the grant will jumpstart new broadband projects. It's not going to do anything, but it looks forward to seeing new ideas generated through this program, and we hope that these grants will jumpstart new projects throughout the state. Oh,
Okay,
sure.
it's time to go.
I got hope for you here. You hope in one hand and crap in the other. What do you got? Well, once again, you wasted a perfect look at our luck watching this stupid show, and you missed all this news, damn it. So hopefully we'll see you again next week, inshallah. Goodland, Wordland, get down on the mosque with the guy in the man dress in the men-only mosque, head east, pray towards the rock and meteorite in Mecca and go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar.